boxer I ever seen. He was everything.
He was smart, he was thinking, he was bucked with head. And he was elegant.
Ray Robinson was the best fighter that ever stepped in the ring.
I've never seen a champion quite as determined as he.
That man was beautiful. Timing, speed, reflexes, rhythm, his body, everything was beautiful. I'm the greatest heavyweight of all time, but pound for pound, Sugar Ray Robinson was the greatest of all time.
It takes a special man to make Muhammad Ali speak in reverent tones. There aren't enough superlatives to put at the sweet feet of Sugar Ray Robinson. He was fast and fluid. His balance was perfect. He could take a punch or make one miss. His jab was genius. When Sugar Ray Robinson let his hands go, he went from the sweetest science to something terrible. He turned from a consummate upright boxer to a kaleidoscopic many-armed god of destruction. Shiva with a boxing glove on each hand. Your eyes lose track of his hands like he's Goku. Camera technology couldn't keep up with him. He fought like his forthcoming was foretold. Like somewhere in the caves of Lascaux is a shadowy painting of Ray Robinson with his arms casually draped over ring ropes, etched in charcoal and left for the ages, until the prophecy had come to be. Ray Robinson set his foot on the most sacred site in all of boxing, October 4th, 1940, when he steps through the ropes at Madison Square Garden to make his professional debut. By the end of 1941, Ray Robinson had defeated one former, one current, and one future champion. By February of 1943, Robinson is 40-0 with 30 KOs. One of the survivors was a middleweight named the Raging Bull, Jake LaMotta. In a rematch, he knocked Ray out of the ring en route to a decision win. Unfortunately, film of Ray in his welterweight prime is scarce and precious. An undiscovered Ray Robinson film to a fight fan is like a historian finding a new Dead Sea Scroll. By the early 50s, film of Ray became more available, the best of which is his sixth and final clash with Jake, who had recently won the middleweight championship. It was in Chicago on Valentine's Day, 1951. The fight would come to be known as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Here in Chicago.
Jake LaMotta might have the best chin in middleweight history. Because in 6 fights, Ray Robinson couldn't knock him down.
One minute to go, round number 5. To go.
As the championship rounds roll in, Jake's offense shuts off. He became a blank canvas for an artist who painted in fists. As Ray Robinson turns into Shiva,
right eye. 1 minute.
It was as beautiful and terrible as free will and human endurance.
A stopping block. Robinson trying to KO him.
But still, Ray could not put him down.
How he can survive him, nobody knows. Head shake at the ringside. The fight is going to be stopped on the signal.
After that first loss to Jake LaMotta, Ray Robinson wouldn't lose another fight for 8 years. His genius and impeccable instincts were now seasoned with experience. He grew into a superstar as he ran up his record. He grew rich and bored with how great he was. He went on a tour of Europe after racking up another 80 wins.
Pouring it on. Robinson all over unstretched. Now Ray is throwing dynamite in there. Walzak goes down for the third time.
It was in England where Ray Robinson would run into the unheralded Randy Turpin. Turpin had never gone past 7 rounds.
As Robinson is forced back across the ring, the 23-year-old challenger really putting it on the champion. At close quarters, it's Turpin the aggressor, clubbing rights to Robinson's head. Robinson is mounted and Turpin lunges in with flailing fists.
Ray spent more time on the golf course or dancing than he did in the gym.
The Robinson, American fans know as the best pound-for-pound boxer of the generation. Dr. Vincent Nardiello, Sugar Ray's doctor, had to put 12 Turpin and Robinson both use left jabs, looking for an opening. Turpin's stiffer lunge.
In one of the biggest upsets of its time, Turpin turned in a masterpiece. He was able to take the decision and title from Ray Robinson.
And so, Sugar Ray Robinson, beaten for only the second time in his illustrious career, relinquishes his world's middleweight title.
Ray got his rematch in New York. He showed up in furious shape. It looked like another tough fight for Ray as Randy held his own through the first half of the fight. He cut Ray even worse the second time around. The doctor gave Ray one last round before he stopped it. Robinson wouldn't waste any time. All it took was one clean right hand to do irreparable damage. Randy got up and hung on as long as he could. Under the precise and powerful onslaught, Randy Turpin needed saving. The referee steps in, and Ray returns to the top of the middleweight mountain.
And the new middleweight champion of the world, Sugar Ray Robinson.
After regaining his championship, Ray Robinson would meet the hardest puncher he would ever face. Rocky Graziano was voted one of the top 25 greatest punchers of all time.
Robbie likes to throw, and his shot left hook. Like that big one that Rocky brought from center field.
He was feared as a knockout artist for his vicious overhands.
Half a minute to go.
Until he set foot in the ring with Ray. Robinson controlled every second. But as he opened up on Graziano, he didn't see his wide right hand. It sent him to a knee. Having felt it, Robinson was wary of his power and resolved to try and take Rocky out as fast as possible. It took 11 minutes for Ray to aim and fire the meanest right hand in middleweight history.
Rocky lost his mouthpiece. He's hurt.
Then Ray decided to try and make the jump to 175 pounds. He challenged the champion Joe Maxim on a brutally hot summer day in 1952.
The hottest June 25th ever recorded in New York. Robinson goes to work on Maxim's midsection. Right to the jaw. One of his best punches. Certainly the best punch of the fight.
Robinson was his usual brilliant self.
In 13 rounds back in 1951.
He was winning a landslide.
To the body and a left to the head by Robinson.
The summer heat started to take its toll.
His earlier rounds is gone.
It was so hot, the referee had to be replaced due to exhaustion.
As we begin round 11. A right to the head, then firing to the body. Somehow, after a poor 10th round, he's exerting tremendous effort, as you can see. They touch gloves.
After 13 one-sided rounds, not even the greatest boxer ever to live couldn't handle the heat. His kidneys shut down, and he collapsed in the ring. He spent a lengthy time in the hospital. It was the only time in his career Ray couldn't make a final bell. After the fight, he vacated his middleweight title and retired for 3 years. He made his return in 1955 and was given an immediate title shot. Ray had spent his time off dancing, so the world knew his feet were still fast. But against Bobo Olsen, he reminded the world just how fast his hands still were too. Bobo was smart and disciplined.
His head very well, moves it constantly, makes himself a difficult target. The supreme boxer.
But even at age 35, Robinson blinded him with brilliance. The finishing combination Robinson put on him is Robinson at his many-armed finest.
He's flat on his back. The referee takes up the count. Olsen struggling, he rolls over.
The aging god of war, still a god. On the wrong side of 35, Robinson was beginning to look slightly more mortal. Robinson dropped the middleweight title to Gene Fullmer. Gene Fullmer was a 160-pound box of rocks, strong as an ox and just as durable. Never stopped in his career until his final fight long past his prime, with one exception.
round of scheduled 15, and Sugar Ray gets home a good right hand.
Less than 4 months later, when Ray Robinson walked Fulmer onto the most perfectly placed and timed left hook in middleweight history.
World's middleweight champion, Sugar Ray Robinson.
Robinson made a habit of stopping the unstoppable and being the toughest rematch fighter of all time. 3 sure bets were taxes and Sugar Ray in the rematch. The last great fight of Sugar Ray Robinson came against the relentless pressure fighter Carmen Basilio. The relentless pressure fighter was exactly the type to bring the best out of Sugar Ray. Their back-to-back clashes in 57 and 58 for the middleweight championship were both brutal back-and-forth wars. Each fight ended in a split decision. While Basilio won the first, Robinson came back with a game plan. By the late round, Carmen's eye was swelled shut completely. Blinded by the brilliance of Ray Robinson, Basilio fought his heart out to make the final bell.
Robinson looks at the clock. He's tired too.
While Ray won the rematch, their fights had one other thing in common. Their fights won back-to-back Fight of the Year awards. Ray Robinson fought until 1965. The numbers alone are staggering. In a 25-year career, he won 174 fights. He put 109 men into diabetic comas. It's not how many fights he had, it's who he fought. 21 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw against men who made the Hall of Fame. Just after his final fight, Madison Square Garden held a curtain call for its sweetest scientist. The monarch of a golden era of middleweights embraced the men who pushed him to become the greatest pound-for-pound fighter of all time. The most sacred sight in all of boxing could never truly repay these men who bled to sanctify it. But it could try.